Have you ever set a goal for your team and feel like it just landed with silence? People nod, they write it down, they're like, yeah, I've got this. But then nothing really changes. It doesn't feel like anyone's really pushing towards it apart from you. Or even worse, your team gets overwhelmed, unsure where to even start, motivation drops, progress stalls, and we are left wondering if it's us or just the goal that missed the mark. But here's the truth. Goals don't fall down because your team isn't capable of achieving them. They fail because they aren't clear, connected, or co-owned. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how to set clear goals and KPIs that your team can actually get behind without micromanaging them or triggering that I've got too much on my plate already feeling. By the way, my name's Heather Elkington. I'm the founder of Fresh Leadership World and have trained over 5,000 managers to lead high-performing teams with more clarity, confidence, and a lot less chaos. So let's get into it. The first step is to start with the outcome, not the activity. The biggest mistake I see managers make is we start by listing tasks instead of defining what the bigger version of success actually looks like. So instead of saying, we need to launch this new campaign by Friday, we need to say, we're aiming to increase qualified leads by 20% this quarter. The campaign is one of the best tools to help us get there. This small shift just turns those goals from a to-do list into a very clear destination that people can get behind and use their expertise to get behind as well. It also gives the team so much more autonomy in how to solve the actual problem. Your big action step here is when you are setting a goal, ask yourself, if this goes brilliantly well, what is the true end? What is that bigger picture end? That's the version you want to share with your team. Step 2 is we need to anchor those KPIs in meaning, not just measurement. So KPIs on their own are literally just numbers, and numbers with no story behind them, that is where the overwhelm really creeps in. So a KPI only works when people really understand why it matters and what it drives. For example, if one of your KPIs is response time to client emails needs to be under 4 hours, your team needs to know what that actually connects to. Is it about retention, speed of delivery, reputation? When you link those KPIs to meaning, people stop seeing them as like an arbitrary pressure and start seeing them as levers of actual impact. At Google, managers are trained to connect OKRs, which is their goal setting method, objectives and key results, to the mission behind their work. It's not just ship X by date Y, it's help users get faster results when searching for flights. When people see how their specific goal links to the bigger picture, motivation and clarity go up and anxiety goes down. So the action step here is when you share that KPI, the final number, explain the why. Add one sentence like, this KPI helps us to insert bigger goal here. And even better, get your team to come up with that sentence themselves in the kickoff meeting. Step 3 is involve your team early, not after the fact. So we get really messed up with KPIs when goals feel like they have been dropped on us from people at a great height. One of the simplest ways to reduce that is to involve the team before everything gets locked in. Ask them questions like, what do you think would move the needle most this quarter? What feels achievable but still a stretch? What roadblocks do you already see? When you involve people early, 2 things happen. 1, we get real insight about what's actually doable, and 2, they feel ownership, not just obligation. And I actually have a full agenda for my annual planning meeting, which is where I set all the goals and KPIs with my team in a way that helps them feel ownership over it. If you want it, just go to the link in the description. Something small you can do here is before you roll out a goal or KPI, just run a short team session with post-it notes or breakout rooms and ask the team, if this is the overarching big goal, what are the top 3 ways we could get there? Then co-create those KPIs together. And step 4 is break it down into focus areas, not fragments. So when everything feels urgent, nothing gets done well. If your team's starting at 10 different KPIs, they're gonna freeze or start doing a little bit of everything just badly. So instead, you want to group KPIs into 2 or 3 focus areas. For example, customer experience, operational efficiency, and growth. Under each theme, there is no more than 2 to 3 KPIs. This really helps people prioritize. It also makes it easier to talk about the progress week to week. So I just want you here to audit your current goals or KPI lists. Can you group them into themes? Do they all need to exist this quarter, or can some be scheduled for later? Less pressure means more progress. And the final part here is set review points, not rescue points. One of the worst things we can do as a manager is set a goal and then disappear. So no updates, no check-ins, just silence until something goes wrong and then we scramble to rescue it. So instead, we want to build in really natural check-in points. This also makes sure we don't micromanage. We don't need a full dashboard or performance review every single week. We just need a good, consistent rhythm. How are we tracking? What's working? What's stuck? Any early signs we need to adjust? This turns progress tracking into a healthy conversation instead of a panic button. Use your fortnightly check-ins with your team to review KPIs together. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with the fortnightly check-in, just go and watch my videos on a one-to-one system that every manager needs. This needs to not be a performance review, but a shared scorecard. And a bonus point here is rotate who actually presents that progress update. So it spreads ownership and it builds clarity across the team. Get different team members at all different levels to share progress on these projects. Start with the outcome, connect it to meaning, bring your team into the process, group your goals into themes, and then keep that rhythm going. Because when your team knows where they're headed and why, it doesn't feel like pressure, it feels empowering. And I have written an entire book on how to become the kind of manager that people really want to work for in the modern working world. Just go to the link in my description, you can order it now. And we're trying to build this YouTube channel, guys, so every single subscribe, like, or share that you drop on this video means the absolute world to us. So thank you in advance for everything.